needs to be, though, at this point in the season. Speaking of comebacks, Phillip Rivers got the job done when it counted, but is he on the same level as Tom Brady? Our two quarterbacks weigh in. And the Redskins would have liked O.C. Umenyiora to miss just one more game. The star of the Giants' Week 1 victory joins the program live. It is NFL Live. Let's do it. That's right, the first week of the NFL season is in the books, and that's how we roll into another edition of NFL Live. Mike Hill hanging out with the quarterbacks, the two T's, Tim Hasselbeck and Trent Dilfer. Speaking of quarterbacks, it took them a little time to get going, but I think after last night, it's safe to say that Tom Brady is fully back.
Yeah, I think that's
fair. Let's see the highlights then. Let's just Bills and the Patriots. Of course, Tom Brady's first regular season game since tearing up his knee last year. T.O. and Randy Moss making nice quarter game. Second drive, still working off the rust is Brady here. Overshooting Kevin Falk. Brady goes 4 for 8, 29 yards in the first quarter. Just don't see that out of Tom. Second quarter, same score. Trent Edwards, though, looking for his new guy. T.O., and you got to hold on to it, T.O. Didn't have a catch in the first half. You got to have this one, guys.
Yeah, this is a ball that T.O. needs to come down with. Obviously, it's not a perfectly thrown ball, but that should be converted into a first down.
his job.
Meanwhile, Brady is still having some issues, and maybe he can learn from Aaron Schobel. Look at that catch.
This is going above and beyond your job. This is not Aaron Schobel's job. He goes above and beyond, makes a great play, gains a lot of momentum for the Bills early on. Look at his acceleration right there, Tim. That's faster than you.
Also a great read, recognizing the screen once he realized how Matt Light was just trying to cut him and let him run past.
Bills were up 14-7. They led 14-10 at the half. Just over 2.5 left. Pats down 24-13. Brady getting it going. There he is to Wes Welker. They gave him a first down on that play. It's a generous spot. 2 plays later, look at this pass to Ben Watson.
Attack the middle of the football field. This is when the Patriots are dynamic in their passing game, when they control in between the numbers like this. You see that vertical releases by Welker and Moss, hold the safeties wide, isolating Watson on the middle linebacker. Tom sees that open space in the middle, anticipates the throw. Ben Watson goes and gets it absolutely stealing versus that coverage.
Beautiful 2-point conversion failed, so it's still a 5-point game. Pat still 3 timeouts in. The Bills, they got their hands team on the field for the onside kick. Leos McKelvin still.
Take a knee.
No, he brings it out.
Oh, no, you didn't.
He get hit, and he won't go down, guys. Fumble!
I was on the field for this, saw it up close. Merriweather stands him up. You can see his hand come in there, strip the ball. And I love the fact that the kicker recovers the fumble.
McKelvin said he has no regrets. I'm pretty sure the Bills players have regrets, though. Just under a minute left. Pass on the 16. Brady to Watson. Once again, Brady explains why this will work.
And it was the same coverage, and the safety really squeezed him on the second one because he recognized it. And I tried to throw it high on his back shoulder, and he just went up and made a phenomenal catch. So I told him it was the best catch I've ever seen him make. So hopefully there's a lot more of those in store. We made enough plays in the end, and we're going to learn from it, and it was great to get the win.
Patriots missed the 2-point conversion, but they still scored 12 points in just 1:16. They're up 25-24. All the Bills need to do is get in field goal range, but, that defense, that young defense coming through. Tully Banner-Kane coming through. Brady, Patriots win in its return 25-24. So let's look at Brady, a master of the Patriots' final 2 scoring drives Monday. Completed 12 of 14 passes, 122 yards, and those 2 scores. Brady tied a career high with 39 completions in the game as he bettered the 300-yard mark for the 24th time. Still a little bit shaky in the beginning. He was working off the rust or whatever. So why did it all come together for him in the final 2 drives of the game?
Well, he was pretty good all game, but he was dynamic at the end when they controlled the middle of the football field. This offense is so much more potent when they get the chunk yardage, and usually that comes between the numbers, and that's what we saw through early in the game, too. Hard play action. You got the comeback to Randy Moss, more of a perimeter throw, but look at the fear factor. It stretches the defense, gets them turned around, scares the heck out of them. Now, nice big pocket. We call this the circle of comfort as a quarterback. But what it does, opens up big spaces in the middle of the football field, this play action, and you get chunk yardage. Nice pocket field to step up into, get the ball down the football field. It takes you 1 play to do it, 3 or 4 plays other times take. Same hard play action, flattens the defenders, gets Randy Moss to the second level of the defense, confuses the other linebacker, big chunk yardage. You have less plays in a drive, eating up more space. Look at his performance here, 15 yards or plus, 5 of 6 for 88 yards. You need that dynamic aspect in your offense to score points. I think we'll see more of this as the year goes on with Tom Brady and the New England Patriots.
Yeah, if you look at it too, the other thing that goes along with that, the short passing game to Wes Welker, because they're trying to defend those deep chunks with Randy Moss. Now you get Welker lined up on linebackers in working zones against those slower defenders that can't match his quickness.
Welker and Moss both with 12 receptions apiece in this game. Still, the Bills hung in there. You got to give them a lot of credit, man. Nobody thought they would be this close with the New England Patriots last night. They just fired Turk Sherman, so they got a Bills offensive coordinator Alex Van Pelt in there. What do you think of their game plan under Alex Van Pelt?
I tell you what, with only 1 week to work on this and play the New England Patriots, I thought that Alex Van Pelt did a tremendous job. I also think that Trent Edwards did a nice job stepping in and playing well. But if you look at the way they control the football, the way they timed up screen passes against man coverage, the way they work some of their play action and bootleg game, I really think Alex Van Pelt deserves a lot of credit, especially working with an offensive line that have really never played with each other and such young guys.
And the synergy between the quarterback and the coordinator is so important. And what happens a lot of times, the coordinator recognizes I need my quarterback to play more instinctive, more decisive, more aggressive. So I'm going to call a game that allows him to do that. I think it was the best Trent Edwards has looked.
All right, T.O. didn't say it, but they only threw the ball 3 times to T.O. last night. Just saying. You bring him in there, throw the football to him. Buffalo hosts Tampa Bay. Paul Posluszny will not be there. Says he will be out several weeks with a broken forearm. When you think of the Chargers, you think of LT, but hear why Tim Hasselbeck believes San Diego would be better off with Darren Sproles carrying the rock. Did you say that, Tim?
I said it.
Plus, the Raiders sent in the league a message in Oakland, but Phillip Rivers and the Chargers got the last word. Highlights from Monday night's nightcap. They're coming up next.
Major League Baseball continues on ESPN America with live primetime games every Thursday night.
Cubs are coming up. Hammers this one deep to left field.
It's the last full month of the regular season, and things are really starting to heat up.
Back-to-back for the Cubs.
This Thursday, Brewers at Cubs, only on ESPN America.
For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise, for the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
The Cardinals take on the Steelers.
Looking for an unprecedented 6th Super Bowl ring, the Steelers played a dominant first half.
Picked off James Harrison after. He's running up the sideline, and that's a touchdown from Pittsburgh.
The unflappable Cardinals engineered a fourth-quarter comeback with Larry Fitzgerald.
Fitzgerald, he got it! Fires over the middle of Fitz, caught at the 45-50.
Fitzgerald, after a quiet first half, has become a force here in the second half. 2:31 left. Steelers have 2 timeouts. They trail by 3. He scrambles around, throws it back corner of the end zone. Santonio Holmes! I don't know how he did it!
Roethlisberger looked to the right, to the left, back to the right, and then threw it into the very corner of the end zone.
The confetti's all in the air. This was a great one, and the Steelers prevail.
NFL on ESPN America.
Over the past few years, Donovan McNabb took more hits on the field and in the media as he transitioned from a running quarterback to a pocket passer. But as the number of his scrambles went down, his completion percentage rose. Now, with a retooled offensive line and Deshaun Jackson leading the deepest receiving core of his career, the Eagles hope McNabb will have a career season.
Chargers looking to continue their dominance against the Raiders and Tom Cable. Rough training camp for him. Richard Seymour just traded last weekend with payoff already. Trent, what does he add to this defense?
Strength, relentless pursuit, and he's a smart football player that's a true pro, and the Raiders need that.
First of 2 sacks in the game for Seymour. 3rd and 8 Chargers, and this is something you just don't see. LT coughing up the football.
Yeah, very out of character for him. An excellent job by the Raiders holding up in their own end.
His first fumble loss in 993 handles. Final minutes of the first half, tied at 7. Looks like a touchdown pass from Jamarcus Russell to Louis Murphy, the rookie. His first touchdown catch, but wait a minute. They want to review it. Guys, you make the call.
It still looks like a touchdown catch to me.
Listen, it's the Bert Emanuel rule. You got to possess it going to the ground.
It's possessed.
That's what it is.
It's possessed, and then it comes out after it's possessed.
The officials agree.
Based on the rule, it's right, but I agree.
Raiders had to settle for a field goal. We're tied at 10. Fourth quarter, Chargers down 13-10. This is where Phillip Rivers started to take over. Vincent Jackson, look at that catch.
And these two have something special going. There becomes this relationship between receiver quarterback. When it's right, it can be special.
But how about Jamarcus Russell coming right back? 4th and 15, their own 43. Lewis Murphy wide open. Why was he so wide open?
Basically, miscommunication between the corner and the safety in quarters coverage. The safety reads the number 2 running to the flat. He stops his feet, and Murphy's able to run right past him. Plus, I think he's wondering, why are they going for it on 4th?
And that's one of the reasons the Chargers have not been successful playing dumb football like that.
But Phillip Rivers bringing his team back. Look at that. On Neion right there. Out of bounds inside the Raiders 35. First down, Chargers later. Rivers. Short pass to Darren Sproles, and I didn't say short pass just because Darren Sproles is short, but you know what I'm talking about. LT watching the drive from the sideline, just 21 seconds left. He's going to watch Sproles do his thing. Up the middle, that's your game-winning touchdown. Chargers winning 24-20. 12 straight wins for the Chargers over the Raiders. It's Phillip Rivers.
It was one of those hard-fought division games. Had some injuries, had to battle through some penalties early, but in this league, we found out you just find a way to win. That's what we did today.
You know, by and large, very, very excited about what this team has come to. Very excited about where I think we're headed, and you know, can't wait to get back to work tomorrow. Get ready for Kansas City.
All right, guys, I'm not trying to put him on that level yet, but Phillip Rivers, much like Tom Brady in this game against Buffalo, big when it mattered the most down the stretch. But what is making this guy an elite quarterback in this league?
Well, I think you mentioned he's big when it counts. And you look, you know, the postseason last year, you just look at the way that he's responded under pressure. And you look at last night's game, it wasn't perfect early on, but he really responded when the game was on the line. And one of the things he was doing in a 2-minute drive situation, he was just taking what the defense gave him. Check the ball down to Darren Sproles, let him run for it. There was never any sense of panic. Phillip Rivers always had this thing under control, and then just finding his playmakers. You see here, obviously a great catch by Nene, but a good job moving in the pocket and getting him the football. And then he recognizes the uncovered receiver, Antonio Gates. Just get the ball out of your hand as quickly as you can to Gates, let him fall forward, get you closer to the end zone so you can take a shot. Phillip Rivers has absolute command of that offense, and he's the leader of this football team right now. When you thought about the San Diego Chargers, you used to think, well, it's LT's team. It's Phillip Rivers' team now, and I'm going to tell you, when I watch them play, I'm starting to think that they're a better football team when Darren Sproles is on the field instead of LT. He's just so much more explosive than LT right now in the big plays, in the passing game and the running game with Sproles on the field.
Hold on, are you saying Darren Sproles is a better player than LaDainian Thomas?
I'm not saying LT.
I'm just
not saying LT's done. I'm saying the Chargers are a more dangerous football team when Sproles is in the line.
It's a nice balance they have.
Okay, all right. Let's talk about the Raiders a little bit. What can you take out of Jamarcus Russell's 2009 debut?
Well, it's a lot like we thought it would be. There was flashes of brilliance, and then there was stuff that you just did not like at all. And that's the problem right now with Jamarcus Russell. He's not growing in consistency. We know he can do the special, but we don't know if he can hit the gimmies. I mean, you talk about 3 great plays here in a row. 3rd and 6. Nice accurate throw across the middle to a basic cross. He's got a 3rd and 10. Slides to his left, buys some time, just ropes it down the sideline to the comeback for the first down, and then 3rd and 5. An absolute dime into the end zone that should have been a touchdown, but unfortunately there's too much of this. Wide open guy on the sidelines. This isn't even close. That's horrific football by the quarterback. And then once again, you have open receivers in the seam, chunk yardage. You cannot miss that type of play. Jamarcus Russell, we know he can do the special. Now we have to see him do just the typical, the average, the stuff we expect him to do all the time. That's consistency. That's what moves the change. That's what wins football games.
12 of 30, 208 yards. Is there improvement? Where do you see the improvement coming in?
Well, I think it's just the mechanics. I mean, Trent talked about the wow factor when you see him throw the football, the way it comes out of his hands, the way that he's able to drive the football down the field. But when you look at him too many times, his feet are way out of whack. And you can only rely on your athleticism for so long. At some point, you have to start to correct those things fundamentally.
All right, the Raiders lose again on opening day, 7 straight season they've done that. That's the longest active streak in the National Football League. So like the Patriots, the Chargers extend their win streak to 12 games over their Monday night opponent. Chargers will host the Raiders in Week 8 while the Patriots go to Buffalo in Week 15. Steelers have won 11 straight over the Browns with those two teams meeting for the first time this season in Week 6. All right, guys, so which team is under more pressure to win this week?
I think it's the Bills. I think their expectations overall are bigger. I think they feel that they brought in T.O. They expect to be a better team, compete in this division. I don't think really anybody expects the Raiders to compete. I think the Bills got to get a win soon.
And I think if you look back a year ago, the Raiders played hard all season long, even when they were out of it and it was a disaster. When you look at the Buffalo Bills, they've already fired their offensive coordinator. Their head coach is on the hot seat. They need a win in the worst way.
And the Raiders play Kansas City. They would be 0-2 in their division if they drop the
first. Let's not forget, too, Bills keep losing, T.O. starts boiling.
Not yet. He'll
boil.
2-3 times. He didn't say anything. I said it for you, T.O., so don't worry about it this week. Still to come on NFL Live. If Donovan McNabb is unable to go this week, find out which quarterback gives the Eagles the best shot to beat the Saints on Sunday.
Now gets hit, stacked, lost the football, picked up by Umenyiora. There goes O.C. down the right sideline. Touchdown! Welcome back, O.C.
That's right, he is back, better than ever. Giants defensive end O.C. Umenyiora joins us.
Yeah, I'm getting off the sack.
Yeah, quarterbacks on the loud here. Next on NFL Live.
And that stop. And some of the stops scare me.
What was the turning point to get you where you are today?
The turning point was my trade to Anaheim. You know, when I went there, I met Francois there, which is my goalie coach there, and really gave me the tools to be able to play in this league.
Gare was down on all fours.
I always had the heart, you know, the will to work, but I didn't have the tools. So it's nice to be able to do that.
2007 Stanley Cup champs.
What do you remember most from the Stanley Cup run you guys had?
You know, the way the team gelled, you know, the way the team, everything you did, you know, and every inch you gained was because you did it as a team. And there's no greater feeling to be able to share such a victory with your teammates.
In 2008, Jonathan Stewart scored as many touchdowns as Adrian Peterson. And only 8 running backs averaged more yards per carry. One of them was teammate D'Angelo Williams, who pounded a punishing 5.5 yards an attempt. Williams and Stewart smashed and dashed for 2,300 yards and 28 touchdowns. In 2009, they'll look to leave an even bigger mark on the league, most likely a bruise.
Peterson did it all day, rushed for 180 yards on Sunday in Cleveland. Bet you didn't know, but it was the 5th highest total by anyone in a season opener on the road since the merger. Peterson and the Vikings visit the Lions this week.
Back to throw, has plenty of time. Now gets hit, stacked, lost the football, picked up by Umenyiora. There goes O.C. down the right sideline. 20, 15, 10, 5, touchdown! Welcome back, O.C., 38 yards.
That's right, Tom Brady not the only big comeback story in week 1. This guy's impact felt right away for his team. Giants O.C. Umenyiora hanging out with us here on NFL Live, courtesy of Taco Bell's Twitter truck. We just saw that return, that fumble of Jason Campbell's fumble after missing all last season with that knee injury. What did that play mean to you?
You know, actually, I'm not allowed to talk about that play anymore.
You're not?
Nah.
Why not?
We have something amongst a D-line. With the Giants, every time you make a play, you can only talk about it on Sunday.
All right, but you got emotional during this play on the sideline. I'm seeing you, man. Do you feel like you're fully back now that coming off the injury and everything?
I feel like I am. I feel healthy. I feel 100%. But you can always ask Trent Dilfer about that play.
I see you ran away to the quarterbacks on the set. That's what you usually do around here. All right, let's talk about this defense a little bit. You lost your defensive coordinator, of course, Steve Spagnuolo. He went off to the St. Louis Rams, but you added some big names to this defense. Just how good can this unit be this season?
On paper, we look outstanding. We have a lot of good football players, but we still have a long way to go. We got a lot of different things that we need to do. Players need to come back and play, and as soon as we get everybody together, I think we can be pretty good.
Yeah, you had Spagnuolo last year. You got a new defensive coordinator in Bill Sheridan. Now, you know, I got to bring it up, of course. Yeah, Giants fans a little concerned during training camp, of course. Apparently, reportedly, you and the defense coordinator didn't see eye to eye, and you walked out for the day. Break it down for us, man. Set the record straight. What happened on that?
It was nothing like that. It was just a mistake by me. I made a bad error in judgment, totally uncharacteristic of me. He was saying some things, and I just took it totally out of context and did something that I wouldn't encourage anybody to do. You know, I've apologized to him, and we've moved forward from there.
What can you tell Giants fans to ensure them that, you know what, nothing like this ever happened? We're all cool. We've hugged it out.
They know me, man. I've been around for 7 years now, so they know I don't do things like that.
All right, man. What did Eli and that young receiving corps show you on Sunday? Everybody's been talking about how they're going to replace Plaxico Burress. Eli needs to step up. What did he show you on Sunday?
A lot. They made tremendous plays, and I like the way they were used. You know, Plaxico was the big physical imposing target. You know, obviously the receivers we have now aren't that, but they have very good things that they do themselves, and all we have to do is find a way to get them the football, and I think we'll be all right.
What area does Eli still need to grow in that you see? Is there an area?
Definitely in the money situation.
He's got the money. He's got the contract. Now he's got to earn the money.
Eli is good. He's a very good quarterback. We see him every day in practice, and we see some of the things that he does. I don't think there's anything he doesn't do well. You know, we just have to find a way to, you know, explore the things that he does do well.
All right, big week for you guys, man. You know where you're going. You're going to Dallas. You're going to open up the new stadium down there in Arlington, Texas. How is the level of intensity being raised? Because it is the Cowboys, of course, is in the NFC East division rival, and because they're in a new stadium. How much is the intensity?
Oh, it's going to be very high, but it's not going to be any different from the way we just played against the Redskins, because that was a very physical, very intense game also. Anytime you play an NFC East opponent, you have to raise your intensity up, you raise your intensity level up. The Cowboys are always going to be a physical football team. It's going to be a physical game, but we're going to make it that way.
How important is it to go down there and get that win, to jump out not only 2-0 overall, but 2-0 in your own division?
Winning division games is the key to making the playoffs and success in the NFL. And I think it's going to be a big, big opportunity for us to go out there and make a statement. They're a good football team, as evidenced by the way they play against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If we can go in there and get a win, it's going to be huge for us.
I see Antonio Pierce sometime on Twitter, man. Are you guys playing with a chip on your shoulder?
Me, you know, I'm definitely playing with a little bit of it.
Why? Why do you feel like you had to play with it?
Because I missed all last year. You know, things were said.
What was said?
I can't go into specifics.
Yo, come on, what was said? You didn't tell me about the play, so tell me what was said.
I cannot go into specifics about what was said, but I think we all have a little chip on our shoulders. Everybody's playing very, very intense and ferocious right now.
What do you feel like you need to prove then?
That, you know, we're still a very good defense, and we're a standing football team. We lost a couple of good players, but we can still move on from that.
All right, O.C. Umenyiora, defensive end for the Giants, man. Thanks for hanging out with us here on NFL Live.
I appreciate that.
I think the quarterbacks, Trent and Tim, can come back.
They can come back now.
Yeah, the defensive end is gone. All right, still to come here on Live Ahead. The Week 2 Power Rankings have been released. Find out who dropped out of the top 5, plus the latest on Troy Polamalu's return.
Coming up, PTI. Tonight on ESPN America. For the widest choice of official North American sports merchandise. For the perfect gift to collect or just to look good and support your team, visit espnamerica.com.
James Harrison has been outstanding all year.
The strip and sack by Harrison. James Harrison pounded him, and it's a two-pointer. James Harrison came in low. That's his patented specialty. James Harrison now is the Steelers' all-time sack leader for a single season. 16 sacks. Picked off, James Harrison has it. He's running up the sideline.
That is the biggest play of this football game.
NFL on ESPN America.
One of the fastest players in the NFL, Reggie Bush needs only one broken tackle to break off a big run. His explosive flair isn't limited to the ground. Bush has more career yards receiving than rushing. And with 3 punt return touchdowns in 2008, he may be the most versatile weapon in the NFL today.
Greatness. Tom Brady has won 21 consecutive regular season games as a starting quarterback. That's just one shy of the longest streak compiled since the merger by Jim McMahon, the Bears, from 1984 to 87. Funky quarterback. ACC college football action Thursday night as Jonathan Dwyer and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets take on Ja'Cory Harris and the Miami Hurricanes. College football primetime presented by Applebee's on ESPN Thursday at 7:30 Eastern. Hey, week 2 of the NFL Power Rankings are now on ESPN.com. The top 4 spots unchanged from last week, with the defending Super Bowl champion Steelers still holding down that top spot. Colts have moved into the top 5, while the Chargers have slipped from 5th to 6th. And in case you're wondering, the Lions are not last. The Rams are now the 37th team in the National Football League. Now on .com, there were no big changes at the top of this week's NFL Power Rankings, but that may change this weekend after the Patriots-Jets and Giants-Cowboys divisional clashes. You want some NFL quick hits? Got them for you. Troy Polamalu won't need surgery for his torn MCL and is expected to miss 3 to 6 weeks. Steelers safety injured his knee in Thursday's win over Tennessee. His Steelers do play the Bears this week, who of course also lost their defensive leader, Brian Urlacher. Here's Mike Tomlin.
Injury are part of football. I'm sure they prefer to play with Urlacher. They're going to have to find ways to be successful without him. Similarly, we prefer to play with Troy. We're going to have to find ways to play without him. That's the story of the National Football League. Troy's knee injury will not require surgery. It's really a week-to-week thing as we progress from here on out. He's definitely out of action this week.
Hey, look who's back practicing. Michael Vick can once again practice with the Eagles. The team activating him off the exempt list, so he'll be back on the field this Wednesday. The move may be possible because Philadelphia cut receiver Hank Baskett, who they had been trying to trade. What's Kendrick going to do now? The Eagles down one Andrews brother on the offensive line. The team put Sean on injured reserve today because of that surgically repaired back issue. The team filled this roster spot with the recently signed Jeff Garcia. See how it all comes together as we tee up our hurry-up offense now. Which quarterback gives the Eagles a better chance to win? Is it Kevin Kolb or Jeff Garcia?
I think this is a no-brainer, actually. I don't think this will happen, but I think Jeff Garcia should get the nod. And this is what the conversation goes. Hey, Jeff, give me your 2 best, baby. I need 2 heroic performances for you. Keep us in this thing, save the day, and then you can just go enjoy the rest of the football season, but I need you for 2 of your best.
Listen, he was on the street last week. He was in a different offense 2 weeks ago. He was the Eagles' second choice. They wanted A.J. Feely, then Jeff Garcia. He's a warrior. Kevin Kolb's a guy. Now, he's been in that system a while now.
I remember Jeff Garcia was in that system.
Young guy, old guy.
Next NFL Live coming over at 7:30 Eastern Time. By the way, LT not practicing this week.
50. Pat, on a personal note, if there's one moment in your career that sort of stands out